Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the virtual breakfast sessions. I'm Larry Sashin, and today we have a great group to talk about culinary education leaders, City Tech, a part of CUNY. So, before we start, we have to thank the people who are paying our bills today. Ed Flanagan and the Era Group. Listen, you work very, very, very hard for your money. And if those invoices and what you're getting don't seem to jive, or if this is this the price you agreed to, if you have a problem with that, call Ed Flanagan in City Tech. His people in City Tech. I got you. I've got you people on my mind. Ed Flanagan in the Era Group. Listen, they will sift through your invoices. They will sift through your contracts to make sure whatever you ordered is exactly what you're getting for the price that you agreed to pay for it. So, Ed Flanagan and the Era Group, and now to City Tech. Listen, before we start, let's introduce ourselves. Tracy, why don't you start?
Great. Hi, my name is Tracy Zimmerman. I'm an assistant professor at New York City College of Technology, CUNY. And I'm happy to be
Okay.
here, and I teach culinary arts mostly.
Okay. Delilah.
Yes, Delilah Mercado. I work with Aramark Food Service. I'm a district manager and also a graduate of the program.
Okay. And Madeline.
Hi, I'm Madeline Kelly. I am a graduate of City Tech in 2024, and I am currently a sous chef at a small restaurant in Queens called Ramro. Yeah.
Okay. And once again, I'm Larry Sashin. So, City Tech in CUNY. Tracy, talk a little bit about the program itself and the demographic of the people that come in and take those courses.
Well, thank you. City Tech is really an amazing program as for hospitality management. It's a hospitality management um, bachelor's degree. It's a BTech degree, a Bachelor's of Technology. We also have an associate's degree in hospitality management. Some of our it's a very varied program. Some of our students focus in the culinary arts, in the pastry arts. Some focus in restaurants, hotels, food service, travel, tourism. We really try to focus on a little bit of everything so our students can kind of make it their own. It's a program that's been around for, gosh, we were the first bachelor's program at City Tech. We have been around for a while, and we have amazing graduates. A lot of our graduates have gone on to really do great things in the New York City area. Most of our students stay in the New York area. We are a service to New York City and the boroughs. The program really, as part of CUNY, we represent where we live, and our students were kind of a driver for success for everyone in the city. And we have a very varied student body, but a very dedicated and very driven student body of hospitality or future hospitality leaders. And leadership is something that we really focus on very seriously.
Well, let me break in for a second. Can you tell the people what CUNY is?
CUNY is the City University of New York, and it's a system of about, I'm not exactly sure the exact number, but there are at least over 20 different campuses that serve really, you don't have to be a New York City student, but most of our student body are from the New York City, the five boroughs.
Okay, okay. So we talked about the people who go to City Tech. Delilah, why don't you tell us about your experience there?
Absolutely. And I think you nailed it, Tracy. It becomes something different depending on what you're looking for, and it can even change. For myself, I went right after high school. I wasn't really quite sure where I wanted to take my career. So I had this vision that I was going to be a hotel manager. After a great vacation, of course, you're young, you don't really know where it's going. And I always tell the story that I was going to be a special events director out in Club Med and plan all the events because that's what a 17-year-old wants to do, right? And the program was great. I learned how to cook because again, it prepares you to be well-rounded. Right. So while I started the program as a hotel management student, actually I ended up gravitating to restaurant life, right, during an internship, because that's the beauty of the program. It actually allows you to have practical experience, you network, and you really kind of find yourself. You're literally side by side learning with different generations of students. You have people that are change of careers. You have people that were young like myself, just trying to explore. And that's, I think, the beauty of the program. It's local. I was able to work full time, a full time job, and go to school at night, as an example. And then later, I was able to shift it to be able to complete the program within the 5 years, to be able to do an internship and enter the workplace. My career started in fine dining restaurants, which I didn't imagine 5 years before because I was going to go into hotel life. It was through that internship in the restaurant world that allowed me to continue my career in that trajectory. And then after 16 years in fine dining restaurants, teaching as an adjunct, who would have thought it, right? That I would go back to the school that I graduated from to share my industry knowledge and what I had learned to students. And then my career continued to grow in workplace dining. And again, the beautiful thing about this program is you could start in one place and end up completely somewhere different, because at the end of the day, hospitality is a very diverse workplace as well. It can take you in many different ways.
Okay, thank you. Madeline, what about your experience?
So I came to City Tech after into my second year of college. So my first year of college, I actually was a dance major in New York. And once COVID hit, it was very difficult for me to continue dance. So I started working in a small cafe where I really enjoyed the kitchen life and working with coffee, things like that. And then I was looking up colleges. I found City Tech. I saw they had a hospitality management department, and what drew me was the white chef coats and the hats and everything. I was like, wow, that looks really cool. I didn't know that I didn't have to go to culinary school to like pursue my love for cooking. And once I started, it was still like 2021, so COVID had still was still happening. And my first year was online, and then my second year I started going in person, and that's where I met a lot of the teachers. I got to be in class, hands-on, learning about the five mother sauces and learning about different types of pastry cream, and it was a wonderful experience. And I really enjoyed the umbrella idea of the bachelor's degree, how there are so many different fields you can go to into hospitality, and how we all were learning it. So I had students in my class who were not fans of cooking at all, but they loved the idea of going into airlines or going into the hotel industry. So I think it was really cool to have that diverse mindset and perspective throughout all of our classes, through with all of the other students and making connections with them, and also learning from such professional and inspiring professors that were there with us in class. So yeah, wonderful experience.
So, Delilah, if you were going to pick one thing, uh, besides the fact that your mind wandered and your career followed, what was the hook with City Tech that we know how you got there, and we know What made you stay?
Yes. Well, again, I think we have to understand that we all come from different backgrounds, right? It was affordable, right? I was paying my own way to college, right? It allowed me to continue working, and it had the nighttime, availability for me to be able to create that work-life balance for myself, right? As I explored. What made me stay was the community aspects of it, being able to learn side by side with people that were my age, other generations all together in the program. That really gave me another sort of avenue of what possibilities could be, especially given where I came from. My parents didn't go to college, right? So it was a place where, I was able to feed my curiosity as to where my life could be. I mean, like I said, I could have easily moved away from New York City and moved away. And again, it was through the networking and connections. I mean, my first job, I attained it through a college professor that believed in me and said, I know you want to go into hotels, but give this a shot. I know a chef, go meet him. And so it was through those connections that my network continued to grow. In addition to the classroom setting, we actually volunteered our time outside of the school, right, to continue to expand. We partnered with a program back then that was called the AIWF, SOS, Share Our Strength. So it really kind of taught me that it wasn't just a place for learning. The learning actually went out into the industry as well as an extension of the experience. And so that's why I say to people, if you can't go to the CIA, yes, I said those words, Tracy, that is for the person that can go off and boom and board in New Hyde, right? This was an experience and an opportunity for someone like myself at the time to allow me to have the experiences that I needed, but locally while I was able to work for a living as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Tracy, a sense of community doesn't just happen. It has to be built into the program, and it has to have some special people to help organize that community. What do you do what does the education department do there to build that community?
Oh, well, thank you for that question because I think hospitality management, that's what we do. We build community. And so it is just part of all of the people that work with us, all of the faculty and the staff in the department. We actually have a wonderful area of the campus. We have a hallway where all of our kitchens are, our dining room. We have a small amphitheater and some classrooms. And so all of our students really congregate in that same area. They have their lockers. So it brings everyone together as a community. As well as, like Delilah was saying, we have lots of opportunities outside of the classroom to get involved, whether it's volunteer opportunities or, when we have chefs come in to do demos for us. We've got the Anna Nurse is one of our lecture series. So industry individuals will come in, they'll do a lecture and a demo for the students. We have students that work with the chefs, as well as we have people from industry. Last semester, we had a group from Sodexo Health and Hospitals come in and talk to us about their choice in hospitality, what they're doing in hospitals around New York City right now. So giving lots of opportunities to see lots of different sides of the field, but really it's just the hospitality of all of the folks that work in the program who care about what they're doing, who care about the students, who care about community and bringing everyone together to kind of service the field that we love, which is hospitality, whether you're in the back or the front of the house.
So thank you, Madeline. Your first year at City Tech was a little difficult, but how did they keep you involved then? And what was it like to slide into the fact that the people that you work with are not a 2x2 square They're actually, some of them are 5'10", some of them are 5'5". How does that work?
Um, so this transition to in-person classes was a little different for everyone, but I think what I sensed when I first stepped on campus was this eagerness to meet everyone in person. Like you said, everyone was kind of just a little square on my screen, and I never really like pictured, oh wow, like you're a whole human being right now. And you have like these little features that I never picked up on. I think that eagerness to meet other people fueled the impact that the classroom had. Being online, I think, was so easy to be distracted and so easy to not focus, and it really helped me realize that I took for granted the idea of being in a classroom and learning, and especially in a sense of culinary arts and pastry arts. That's all direct hands-on learning. I think if I were to do that online, I wouldn't be who I am today, who loves the kitchen and who loves the experience of cooking, because I had that opportunity to be in the classroom with other students learning, and also with a professor who can teach me and I can ask questions and do things. Um,
Okay, so Tracy, what are the size of those classes where you're actually doing the hands-on work?
Well, our classes are right now we're at 14 in the lab classes. We tended to run around 16 students prior to COVID. When we came back to COVID, after COVID, we were actually running classes that were 8 to 10 students. And we've been gradually bringing it up as students become more comfortable and it works into our schedule. And the students are interested in coming back to school in person. And I think that that's really an important part of what we do. We really tried to get everyone back as soon as we possibly could because it's part of what we do. And you can't really learn hospitality through a screen quite as well. You have to be right next to the person. And I think that's also part of what our industry has kind of going for it with all that's going on in the world is that we're about people. We're about service to people. We're about relationships. And having the classroom small, but still a community where everyone can work together. Teamwork is really important to what we do. And yeah, the class sizes we still try to keep them small. So 12 was a little bit on the small side. I think 14 were really good right now, and I think at most we would go up to 16 in
Oh,
those classes.
okay, Fred, I know in the back of your head someplace is a question about AI and
Well,
robotics.
I don't think it's about AI as much as it is how does the program adapt itself to recognize, that the marketplace has changed. There's fewer people in the marketplace competing for jobs, number one, and then the reason for that is because of technology and AI. So how do you adapt from teaching, like on a culinary sense, how to cook over an open flame versus how to use a combi oven, et cetera? How does the program adapt itself?
Well, I was just talking about AI yesterday with a colleague about how we use it. And I can talk about how I use it in the workplace and how I would imagine Tracy and the adjunct professors and the employee bases are kind of changing the program. So we're very much a people oriented industry. So that is not going to change, right? What AI does, it does give us back time. Right. So when we're, doing a special event or we're trying to refine a menu cycle, the chefs would spend hours laboring over the research. Right now, you're able to just enter some data. I need a menu for a vegan that is a barbecue concept using rutabaga, and you pour information in and it will completely take all that data and provide you some options, right? Now, it's not 100% all factual, right? You still need that base experience to understand when you're reading what it gives you, whether that makes no sense at all, or hey, that's innovative, right? So it doesn't completely remove the innovation side of things, but it does give us back time to be able to focus on the human aspect of the experience of hospitality. As a director, as a general manager, same thing. You can completely feed information of what you're trying to achieve, whether it's a client business review, an executive summary, a labor model, a kitchen design. I've done this where I had a space and I said, I need to build some efficiencies, but this is the space I'm working with. Gave it square footage, gave them the stations I was trying to create from it. And within minutes, it gave me this plan. Now, granted, I looked at it and like, that's pretty good. And I was able, with my experience, to modify it and continue to tweak it. So, like I said, it's never going to completely take away the jobs, but it does give us time back to be able to focus on the things that we need to focus on, which is the people, the client, the experience. So I think it's fantastic. I can't wait to see where AI goes in our industry.
Yeah, I would love to add on to that because I think that's such an important point. Those are such important points. On the educational side, we have to embrace it. It is part of the future. It is part of our industry, so we need to work with it where it works best for our students, for the industry. So, no, you can't close your eyes and say, oh, it's just going to go away. You have to train people to work with it. So I think that, but there's one thing in hospitality is that human interaction and the creativity that comes out of someone has not been replicated yet, and hopefully never will be by AI. That person to person, I think that will always be something that is necessary in this world. And I think just to humanize all of us, I think hospitality actually is a great area for people to look into for any business. So we definitely, it's about interacting, it's about creating, it's about helping and serving others. And I think that's part of what we do. But I also think that in order to serve people best, you need to use the tools that you're given. And the tools that we're given right now, some of them are wonderful. And they're a good jumping off point, like Delilah was saying. It's a good place to start your creative juices going as a chef. You can input something and say, okay, this is a starting point. What would I do with this? Yeah, that's what the computer would do with it. What would I do with this? Or, here's an outline for a banquet, front of the house, back of the house. That makes sense, but in my space with my people, how is this going to work? But there really isn't anything that takes the place of just experience. And that's what we're trying to get to our students. All the experiences they can get in this world, taking them out of that little box and putting them into the real world, into New York City, which is such an amazing place to be. We're so fortunate. And we even have students that we send abroad. We've got a study abroad and a work abroad program that students that are really interested in seeing the world and getting out of their little box are able to experience. So adding experience on top of technology and putting the two together, I think it's a challenge. We're working on it. We're working with it, actually. We're not working outside of it. We're working together with it. So, it's important.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to say this at every show. Time is our enemy. And we're coming near the end. So before we do that, let me thank once again Ed Flanagan and the Era Group. Listen, if you're tired of paying all those employee taxes, call Ed Flanagan and the Era Group. Their 125 cafeteria plan will help you claw back some of that money that you're passing off to the government right now. So Ed Flanagan and the Era Group. And ladies, thank you for being here today. It was, as I promised you, it was a very fast half hour, and that is because you were interesting. But before we do that, I'd like everybody, I'm going to go around the room and everybody leave that one little bit of information about City Tech that the people who may watch this video may stick in their head. We're going to start with you, Madeline, today. What is that bit of information you need to leave with the people?
Okay, that one bit of information I would love to leave is you get what you put in. What you want to do and what you are experiencing or what you would like to become is a direct result of what you put into your education at City Tech.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Delilah.
I would say sky's the limit. Like you said, jump in, absorb it, network, meet people. And if you don't like people or meeting people, you're in the wrong school. It's
Okay.
all about hospitality.
Oh, great. Okay. Tracy.
I think I would just piggyback off of that. Tech is a place where we give you lots of foundations on so many different areas, and you can take that and go in any direction that you want to. And we try and open the world to our students. So that's what I would like people to take.
Okay. Fred, any comments?
Yeah, used to go to dinners at City Tech every year, and would walk out of there in tears because this program is so unique. This program is about people who are often working 2 or 3 jobs and going to school. Like, this is the real deal. Like, this is when we would give these scholarship funds, this was life-changing money, etc. This program is super important. It really does create the future for the industry. It's really cool. Keep up the great work, guys. Amazing.
Thanks
Thank you
for
for
having
that.
us. Thank you.
Thank
Sometimes I
you.
hate going last. It's sort of like the act that came on after the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. Great story. I'm committed. If I was 18, maybe I'd be there. But obviously, I'm not 18. But the virtual breakfast session will be back again actually tomorrow. And we're going to be taping again, and we're going to be bringing you what we feel is the best in education and hot topics. And for those students or teachers that are listening to this program, I'm trying to get around the country and call people. If I haven't called you, contact me. That's me, L. Sashin, right there. Email me at lsashin@planactgrow.com. Tell me about your program, and I will call you up, and let's see if we can put together a show just like this for your school. So, that being said, there's only 2 things left to say. Everybody, stay positive, test negative, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.